Good afternoon, traders. It is Friday, June 20th, 2014, and the U.S. stock market is closed. We had a wild day today. You know, it's kind of like the combination of the worst and the best. Many of these markets are very volatile, and you know, we had some terrible trades today. JRJC, China Finance Online, that thing started out great for us. Looked like it was going to the moon. It turned around, went against. We ended up getting stopped out with $4,000 loss in JRJC. That hurts. Anytime you got just one $4,000 loss, that hurts. And we had a whole bunch of negative trades that were like in the $2,000 range. So we racked up quite a few negative trades today, but we had some positive ones too. And when I did the statistic, we ended up we closed out about negative $7,000. Well, that's not good, but there is a positive side to this. We are carrying positive $12,000 over the weekend going into Monday. So, you know, if I lost $7,000 closed out and I'm carrying $12,000 in open trade equity, I can't say that's really a losing day, can I? Anyway, I tell you, it doesn't feel like a losing day because we had some things that just really went well. We got a trade in BlackBerry that we're going into a fourth day, and it's just unbelievable, up over $8,000. I'll show you that on the charts. And we had some other things go pretty well too. So, you know, it felt like a pretty good day. Dow closed up 25 points. Dow was positive. So in the markets look good. We just got in some, you know, if we could have just eliminated that one JRJC trade, we would have been great. Anyway, let's take a look at the charts. Okay, we're looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average here, and you look back at, back a week or two here. This thing does look like a pretty wild green caterpillar. We have had some pretty amazing moves here. This was all-time intraday high for the Dow back here. What was that, about June 9th or so? And then, you know, we had a big collapse, and we had this kind of consolidated pattern, and then a nice move 3 days ago. Pulled back a little bit yesterday, although I think it closed positive, but today was a pretty good move up, and I put in a new red line. We've had red lines from time to time. This is a new red line. You can see we got above it today, but then it pulled back. But when the Dow was above here, this was all-time record highs for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. I'm not sure if this close was a record close or not. I did not check that. If it's not a record close, that's very close to a record close. Anyway, we are getting very close to that critical 17,000 level, and it could. I'm going to bet it's going to do it next week for sure, and it might even do it on Monday. We'll just have to see. Anyway, we had a whole bunch of really interesting trades today. I'll just show. I'm going to show you three of them. This was just not a great trade here. This was an LCI, that's Lanet, and but you know, we get into Lanet pretty close to the close here, 2 hours or so, and it does this. Look at this spike. I mean, this is not a volatile market, and this thing really took off at the end. And we're holding pretty close to $2,000 in that. That looks really good, and to have that nice spike at the end of the day, I'm very comfortable with that position. I'll show you a market. This thing just about made me tear out my hair. This is in GWPH. I think that's GW Pharmaceuticals, and we had bought this yesterday on a pop-up here, and then it was pretty much against us all day. And then look at this. you know, an hour in, we get stopped out in this at the, you know, right at the absolutely low tick of the day. We could have taken out the low tick of the day. I think we would have held that. And then it no longer stops us out, but it starts moving up. And hey, I'm sorry, we follow the system, and I'm glad we did. We end up buying it again here halfway through the day, and then it keeps moving very nicely. And we are holding like $2,500 positive on this. I think we lost maybe $2,200 in this. So the trades basically cancel each other out with a few $100s in our favor. But I sure wish we hadn't gotten stopped out. But it was just kind of one of those days. We had good things and we had bad things. I'll show you the really good thing, though, to leave on a positive note. And this is in BlackBerry. And I just can't believe this. This market didn't do too much for us for a long time. And then all of a sudden we get into this thing. 3 days ago we bought this thing on a little pop, not too much all day, but then we had this huge gap yesterday. And you heard, you know, I showed you this yesterday, and I was worried when I was looking at this chart that we get into, we have some, you know, yeah, it's a big gap, but it basically looked like it was fading, and it, you know, it closed near its low. And I'm looking at that thing, oh, we're going to get stopped out on that probably. And I'm going to tell you, we were within a whisker of being stopped out in BlackBerry this morning. We were just saved by our reluctance to be stopped out in the first 15 minutes of the day. And by the time we got to the second 15 minutes of the day, it was starting to move up. And then it really started to move up, move up, move up. This red line represents yesterday's high, and it went right through that very nicely. And we are holding over $8,000 in BlackBerry, and we're going into a fourth day. And I'm going to tell you, 4-day trades make me very nervous, but this one looks really good, 8,000 bucks plus. So anyway, not a bad day. I am very encouraged by it today. And anyway, you guys have a great weekend. This is Trader Bob signing off. I'll see you on Monday.